Topic 1. Understanding and reflecting on cultural responsiveness. In this topic, you learn about developing cultural responsiveness and reflecting on values and biases. Acknowledging cultural diversity gives you the opportunity to grow and explore other ways of being. When you learn about and accept the cultures of others, you are demonstrating cultural responsiveness. All staff need to work together for the good of everyone. Work towards treating all people fairly and respectfully. Take responsibility for creating an inclusive environment. Be responsible for identifying and improving diversity. Diversity. Cultural diversity is reflected in the type of food someone eats, the clothes they wear, the music they listen to, the languages they speak, things that are important to them, attitudes about people's rights, expectations of others. Cultural identity. Factors that influence cultural identity include personal perspectives and traditions, diversity in race, culture, and ethnicity, communication styles and languages, spiritual practices and religious faith, historical background and personal experiences, including encounters with trauma, ancestral history, families who have sought and received political asylum or refugee status, family orientation and dynamics, identification with gender, relationship statuses, and sexual orientation, age-related differences and generational experiences, variations in abilities and disabilities, economic background and social standing. Example: how family background influences values. Phoebe was raised in a family that ran its own business. Phoebe and her siblings all worked in the business, where they learned early on about having a strong work ethic. Phoebe was always on time for her shifts and concentrated on her tasks, completing each one before beginning another. Now, as a mother, she promotes the same values and work ethics with her children, ensuring they are punctual and always focused on the job at hand. Inclusion and cultural responsiveness. Being aware of your own worldview allows you to develop positive attitudes towards others. Cultural responsiveness is the ability to communicate well and interact with people of different cultures. Building cultural responsiveness involves understanding your own culture, understanding the culture of others, acknowledging similarities and differences between cultures, breaking down stereotypes and biases. Children learn through modeling and imitation, so your behaviors and attitudes impact how they behave. Teach children respect and how to interact positively with those who are different from themselves. Being culturally responsive contributes to a culturally relevant and enriching curriculum. A culturally relevant curriculum teaches children to reject bias. When you bring cultural responsiveness to your work role, children can learn and experience acceptance for who they are. Being culturally sensitive. Background information. In some cultures, it is unacceptable to ask about certain things when you first meet someone, such as politics, religion, and income. Personal information. It may be a sign of disrespect to discuss personal information. Personal space. Different cultures have different standards around personal space. Eye contact. In some cultures, eye contact is a sign of honesty and respect. In others, it shows a lack of respect, tone of voice. Some cultures use loud and direct language for communication. Other cultures may find this rude, non-verbal communication. What is polite in one culture can be offensive to another, such as giving a thumbs up, decision-making. In some countries, free speech may be limited or dangerous, agreement. In some cultures, it is rude to disagree with someone who is considered to be in a superior position. Cultural safety. People who respect others and themselves create culturally safe environments. Act in a way that shows others you care about their needs and are interested in their choices. To create a culturally safe environment, you can nurture people and help them feel valued. Praise and acknowledge people to build their self-esteem. Encourage people to care for others. Appreciate their efforts and teach them to appreciate others. Use respectful and positive communication. Use social skills such as saying good morning or goodbye. Set clear guidelines for what behavior is expected. It is illegal to discriminate against others and can result in legal prosecution. Eliminate bias and discrimination by encouraging a diverse range of people to participate in the service, developing diverse work teams, ensuring all literature is culturally sensitive, being inclusive when making decisions, using interpreters when needed. Reflecting on values and biases. Culture is influenced by the set of beliefs, values, and traditions someone holds. Critically reflect on your own culture to challenge your perspectives. The National Quality Standard, NQS, guides inclusive practice and expectations. The approved learning frameworks ask every educator to take responsibility for learning about others and being critical of themselves to develop to meet program and curriculum needs, show acceptance of others, build services where diversity is welcomed and celebrated. The Early Childhood Australia Code of Ethics sets out core principles and responsibilities for inclusion. 4 levels of cultural awareness. Level 1. Unconsciously incompetent. Initially, you may not realize you have biases and judgmental attitudes. You might make mistakes and misinterpret the meaning of others. Level 2. Consciously incompetent. At this point, you agree to acknowledge that people are different, but don't fully understand these differences. You are unaware of how important the recognition of difference is to others. Level 3. Consciously competent with practice. You will become consciously competent. You know that people are different, you know some strategies for finding out about the culture of others, and you have changed your biases and stereotypical behaviors. Level 4. Unconsciously competent. You use your learnt skills and knowledge instinctively, responding to others respectfully in a consistent manner and valuing others. Example. Reflecting on skills. Lorna, an educator, is feeling anxious. She is not sure how to manage a situation where a family's cultural background is different to hers. Lorna wants to improve her skills and decides to reflect on her skills of meeting new people so she can build her confidence. During her reflection, she realizes that she is biased towards some particular cultural characteristics, and this is what makes her anxious. Lorna then sets out some goals to help her get past this anxiety. Lorna is showing that she is willing to improve her approach towards new families and being responsive to the needs of others. Question: how can you build your cultural responsiveness in the workplace?